This is what I look like when I don't do my coffee enemas. What happens is my liver starts to fail. Oh, my tube fell out. Hold on. I hate when that happens. So I don't feel good. And in that process, I know I'm not wearing any teeth. This is why I'm also very depressed, because unfortunately the dentures that were made, hindsight is everything. If I knew then what I knew now, everything would have been different. I didn't know that my dentist was supposed to make wax mock-ups of my dentures, and then I'm supposed to try them on, and I didn't know any of that. So she made my dentures. I was excited. They don't fit, and my insurance doesn't care because I'm on a Medicaid insurance. So anyway, so this has compounded everything and made me quite depressed. I do have some top dentures that I can wear, but I don't feel good. My liver is definitely not functioning well today, and just don't feel good, to the point where I can't stay awake. That is one thing I really, really hate. And I take narcolepsy. I'm also a narcoleptic. So I take narcolepsy medicine to stay awake, and even on that, with my liver doing this badly, I can't stay awake. If I shut my eyes right now while I was doing this, I would fall asleep right here, and I would wake up later. It's just how it is. So you haven't seen me because I had my June, I had my back teeth all pulled out, and then July I had all my front teeth pulled out. So this has caused me some depression, and not only did it cause me some depression, but it caused me some serious pain, and it triggered my fibromyalgia, it triggered my MS, so it just made me, I slept, let's face it, I slept a lot. I slept at least 3 days in a row. Then I would have a halfway decent awake day, and then again I would sleep like 3 to 4 days in a row. It's depression, and then I don't know, like the stress of having all my teeth pulled, and the stress of I had so much Novocaine that I couldn't swallow. It had stopped my throat muscles from being able to swallow, and then that caused me to have a panic attack. So right after I had my teeth pulled, I was having this panic attack internally. I wanted to freak out, but I didn't, and I didn't even tell the doctor that I was having this massive panic attack, because I couldn't talk. I tried to tell them, because they put the top denture right in, I tried to tell them that it was touching my uvula, but this is all that came out. And they're like, and I didn't even think of getting a piece of paper to write it down. But anyway, oh, my tummy hurts. So when I don't do my enemas, I don't go to the bathroom usually. Everything is sleeping, and I can feel my liver hurting, I can feel the pain. My dog lays on me there a lot, and very, very painful. So, but the fact that today I cannot keep my eyes open, and I don't want to sleep my day away. It just depresses me more when I sleep. Now, I don't have a spouse. I actually do. I am still married, but I have not seen him since 2006. I left him. He had a drug problem, and unfortunately he would not go and get any help. But I did. I stayed there. I stayed with him for 8 years. I didn't just give up on him. I've stayed for 8 years, hoping and waiting and hoping and trying to get him to get the help that he needed, but he just wouldn't. He felt that it would make people think poorly of him if he went into a rehab. But now, most of his family doesn't even talk to him. Well, his whole family doesn't talk to him anymore. At first it was just me, but as they had to take care of him after I left, then they got to see the real thing that was going on. You know, they definitely didn't believe me, and I don't blame them, because that was their brother, their son. You know, who wants to believe that their brother and son has a problem like that? Nobody. So back in the day, my in-laws and my sister-in-laws, they just thought I was a terrible liar, you know. How could I say these things about their brother and their son? But unfortunately, they had to find out, and they saw the drug problem that I dealt with, and unfortunately, the abuse went from me to them. So I wish abuse on no one. I'm glad that they got to see that I wasn't a liar, because I love them so much. I really, really love my mother-in-law. I love my sister-in-law so much, and the kids, and it crushed me that they thought so poorly of me. It really did. It just, I felt terrible because I loved them, and the last thing that I wanted was for them to think that I was this terrible person. I wasn't a terrible person. I stayed so long, and I tried to save him. And in the process of trying to save him, several times my son and I were in very scary situations with guns involved. And all these years later, the worst part of the whole thing, I mean, I was homeless, and we lived in my car, and we lived in a shelter, and that was bad. But the worst thing out of all of it was the fact that my husband actually started to believe that I made it all up. I think he really thinks that, or thought that. I think he really honestly feels like I made this all up. I'm lying, that he didn't have a problem. And that was the worst, that he has convinced himself that I brainwashed our son. I made these lies up so that I could get a restraining order, and I didn't. I still have our wedding picture on my bedroom wall. I don't live in the house that we lived in, but, you know, I kept my wedding picture, and it still hangs on my wall. I mean, I love the man, and I always hoped this whole time that he would find some kind of happiness, and he did. He lives with a woman. I don't know how happy he is, because he has a drug problem, and he abuses her. And their relationship is crazy because of the drugs and the abuse. But she's like an awesome human being. I've never met her, but she really is a nice person, and I am happy that he found her. And I hope that he pays her back for her kindness, because even through all this, and he's done the same stuff to her that he did to me, she is staying with him. So I think they've been together like 8 years. That's about when I left. The only reason I left was my son. One night, my son, he was 5 or 6, and he said, "Mommy, will you come and sleep in my bed so Daddy doesn't shoot you?" And I honestly thought I was hiding everything so well from him, you know? I didn't think he saw it, but he did. The gun thing. There was always a gun around. He would cock the gun like it would make that noise. It was kind of like telling me to get in line, be good, you know, tried to scare me. But, you know, I keep flushing the toilet because anything that comes out of me, I don't want my house to smell. So as soon as anything comes out, I'm like constantly flushing the toilet. Because I don't want my house smelling like bung. But, yeah. He carried the gun everywhere. And it just wasn't good. And then that night that my son said that, I realized that I couldn't stay to keep the family together. You know? It wasn't fair to my son. It wasn't even fair to me. Because I deserved to be safe and happy, and the stress levels were like, wow. So, I think a lot of women do that. They try to keep their family together, you know? Because who wants a failed marriage? Says nobody. You know? Everybody wants to be happy. I mean, right? So, anyway. That's a little, because I'm not feeling good, I guess I'm nostalgic. My son turned 17 yesterday. Got that on my brain. He's growing up, and my husband, he texted me and told me that he just got a pacemaker and a defibrillator put in his chest, and that's sad and scary for him. But I think that will help him. My dad's has one, and his life changed after that. Took him some time, but you know, he built back up his strength and all that. So anyway, find yourself an enema partner, and it doesn't have to be a girl and a guy. You know, it doesn't have to be in a relationship. Find somebody. Like, I used to have a friend that. Let me make sure this is on. It is. Her name is Cindy. I still have her, but she is not well. Find yourself a friend that you can encourage each other to, like, do your enemas. Like, Cindy and I used to call each other when there was just regular old phones. We would call each other and clean the house together. We would just talk on the phone. We'd be cleaning our houses, and all day, I mean, we would be on the phone, no lie, all day, just laughing as we did our work. And you could do the same with an enema buddy, you know? You get a buddy and get them to be like, okay, 11 o'clock, it's enema time, so let's set up a time where you call me and I'll call you, to make sure you're doing it, you know? Because if you have cancer and you're going to get chemo and all that kind of stuff and radiation, this is going to help your liver to detox and help you get stronger. This is why I originally started doing it. This was a cancer treatment that a friend told me about, and that's why I started it. So, but it's good for everything. I think I did my whole bag. Yippee! It's about to slip out. I can feel it. It's trying to get away. Is it out yet? I'll tell you in a minute. I know I'm crazy. It's slowly slipping out. So yeah, get yourself a partner that is not a sexual partner, but a partner that is going to be like, hey, did you do your enema? Okay, time to do it. Did you make your coffee? Just somebody that encourages you to stay on task. Now, Josh, I think his name is Josh, he was talking about how he did baking soda. I'm going to have to get in touch with him and find out exactly what that is, because maybe that's going to help me feel better. And that's what I need, because I don't feel good at all. I don't want to die from this. I want to beat this. I want to die from something stupid, you know, like old age. I don't want to die because my liver decides to give up and I bloat and have a terrible death. I don't want that. So I want to give my body whatever it needs to beat this. I would love to show you the floor. When I put my coffee, I will show you what happened. See that? When I filled the bag, I missed the bag, and it's quite a big drop, and it splattered everywhere. And when I take my shower, I'll clean the shower up, but one time, it wasn't in the shower. I used to hang my bucket on the wall over there on the shelf, and back then, in the beginning, that is when I had the biggest mess ever. I don't want to let that go into the toilet, because that is the end of the enema. Always has like the darkest of the coffee for me, and I don't want that to get wasted. I want that caffeine in my butt. And anyway, so yeah, get an enema buddy. I wish I had one. I'm gonna see if I can put an ad on Craigslist. I need an enema friend, a female. I don't want a male, because I don't want anything sexual. This is just helping each other to achieve better health. So do that. Have a friend and encourage each other to do your enemas. Because I just did one bag so far, and I can feel a little bit better in my brain already. And that just shows you how much that caffeine does for your liver. The fact that I think I haven't used the bathroom in 3 days, and that's not good, because what happens is, if your poop, stool, whatever you want to call it, is sitting in your intestines, your body's going to start reabsorbing the toxins, and then that's what makes you feel sluggish and crappy. And I know that, and I do it to myself. Why do I do this to me? I know all these answers. I know what to do. I just don't do it. Don't be a Diane, okay? Be a Josh. Do it right. Be somebody that does their enemas and takes care of themselves. I think that with my teeth things, I do have a GoFundMe up for my teeth. It's not going anywhere. I feel like nobody cares, but I know people. No, I don't know people care. That's a lie. I feel like nobody cares. So who's gonna care? They don't know me. So, oh well. I'm gonna go. Goodbye.